Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Magic or Tragic. I'm back, and we have a road trip to talk about. Basically, I just want to let all my subscribers and loyal listeners know that there is definitely a problem with the way I'm used to uploading videos and information for my normal podcasts. But I found a way to maybe overcome that. It takes a little bit longer to upload videos and whatnot, so I hope you understand and be patient. And basically that's what's going on. I'm hoping to do at least maybe one or two podcasts a week talking about the games that were played and any other news that week involving the Magic. So going forward, that's probably what we're going to be looking at. Nonetheless, let's get into the games. 1 and 3 on the road trip. It definitely is not a record most Magic fans would have hoped for. We had EP in and out of the lineup. Jonathan Isaac has been injured, so a lot of stuff's been going on. However, I must say that even at 1 and 3, I think the team played hard for all the games. We had some times where the team didn't play that well, but I think overall they played hard in each game. And they won the first game at Phoenix, which is I honestly think a game they should win. And then they were at Denver, at Golden State, and at Portland. Those are 3 tough places to play and win. Denver maybe not so much historically, but this year they're a little bit improved, and I think maybe that was the first half of that game at least. I don't think the Magic were truly focused and prepared. But overall, if you look at the road trip and what I took from it, is basically this. Teams are taking the Magic for real, and they're exposing our weaknesses. What is that? It's the paint. It's what I've said at the beginning and what I'm going to continue to say. And honestly, right now, we don't have the personnel to fix this problem. We start a shooting starting lineup with Payton and Fournier and Ross and Gordon and Vucevic. That's basically what we can expect. That starting lineup is not that great defensively. It starts our games, it closes our second halves, and it closes our fourth quarters. And I say that to say this. That's been a turning point in our games. With the exception of the Portland game, we had a different lineup at the end of the game. But, our starters are not that good defensively, and they love to shoot the ball. And when the shooting is not working for us and the other team is actually scoring buckets, making plays, the Magic still haven't gotten out of this funk to where they just completely kind of shut down. Like, the defense goes away. It's already a challenge with that starting 5 to begin with, but if their shots aren't falling and the other team is making plays, it goes away completely. And when the going gets tough, that starting 5 in particular, they just love to shoot the ball. That's their way out of issues. I can see some players like Fournier and Gordon specifically making a concerted effort to try and get to the basket, to try and just kill that run. But again, you have to have the players, the style of play that those players possess to do those things consistently. And the starting 5 to me is actually an issue going forward. Now, what do? Do you put Simmons in the starting 5? Like, what can you do with that starting 5? DJ is still hurt, and DJ is important. I think that's another thing that's been missing recently, kind of why we've leveled out. It's not always about statistics. It's about the tempo, style of play, and where the ball is moving and how it's moving. Such an underrated thing in basketball. Still, again, with that said, what can we do? People are going to look at trades. They want to look at maybe putting Simmons in the starting five. I've thought about that. I'm not totally opposed to that, but how would that affect our second unit? If you put Ross in that second unit with Biyombo and Hazonia and Mac and Isaac possibly, you're not really sure of what you're going to get with that. And that second unit has been a big part of our success. So you want that starting five to just basically step up their game either defensively, because offensively they're not that bad, especially when their shooting's on. When the shooting's on, the starting five is really good actually. But when the shooting is not there, it seems to be like an effect that just trickles down to the rest of their game. That's all of them. All right. Now, Aaron Gordon, the last couple of games, hasn't got as much action as we would like to see, and that's because the ball isn't finding him. And to his credit, he's not forcing anything. He's just letting the game come to him. But it hasn't been coming to him that much. Payton, Vucevic, Fournier, they've kind of been dominating the ball recently, and I'm not really blaming them for that. They are starters. Payton obviously is our point guard. Vucevic is at the top of the key, and a lot of things go through him. Be it the pick and roll with Fournier or Simmons or Payton or Gordon. He's involved in a lot of our offensive game plan. Be it low post, high pick and roll, whatever. Vucevic is involved. And I say that to say this. He's got to take better care of the ball. Way too many turnovers for Vucevic. And Payton as well. Like, Elfrid Payton needs to understand, as our point guard, the ball is valuable. When you're up 10 on the road with 4 or 3 or 2 minutes to go, and you've been playing well, which he was. In Portland, Elfrid was playing well, but he gets this kind of, I don't know, he kind of starts to do a little too much when his mojo's going. Like, when things are going well, he tries to go on top of that and even put a little bit more on top. And we're like, no, we don't need that. Just stay consistent, protect the ball, make the simple pass. You don't have to be awesome all the time. We understand you hit a 3 and your jump shot's falling a little bit, but that doesn't mean all of a sudden that you're a jump shooter and that everything has to be spectacular. Keep it simple, keep it flowing, keep it going. But he gets into this mode to where, like, the better he plays, the more he tries to be spectacular. And then that's where the inconsistent part comes in. Turnovers start to happen, missed shots, bad passes, bad flow on offense. So, I'm kind of going at the starting five a little bit because they start our games, they finish our second halves. They start the third quarter and they finish the fourth quarter. And to me, the starting five still is, how should I put this? They still rear the ugly head of what Magic fans are used to seeing. Bad shots, especially jump shots, and turnovers, and just poor decisions when the game is tight. Who do I put the blame on? The blame goes around a little bit, but something's got to be done with that starting five. I'm not sure if Simmons being installed in that starting five is the answer, even though I think he will help. But only Vogel knows that. Like, when you think about a basketball team, I know a lot of us right now are saying put Ross out and put Simmons in, or trade EP and all this stuff. Chemistry is a big part of basketball. And as a coach, to keep the chemistry in order, you have to deal with people. You can't just bench a player or just totally take a player's minutes out and whatnot, because there is a domino effect. You don't know how that one player will react. What if that player has a friend on the team or is close to other players, or you just don't know how that will affect the whole team in the locker room. So as a coach, you have to be delicate about making sudden moves or decisions that involves a team. We talked about trades. I'm all for a trade, but who do you trade? Like, to be honest, who do you trade? Most of us look at trading maybe Elfrid Payton or Terrence Ross. Now, I wouldn't be against that completely, but who are you going to get, and how will that change your team? Personally, just me, the player that I think has to be looked at the most is Vucevic. And it's not that I don't like Vucevic. I actually like Vucevic. But if you look at the style of play and the coach we have, defense in our starting five is an issue. We have some players that can score the ball, in Fournier, in Simmons, and now Gordon consistently. We have players that can put the ball in the bucket a little bit. Vucevic is obviously one of those players. But if Vucevic is not hitting his three and not hitting his jump shot, which he loves to shoot, and if he's still going to continue to miss easy buckets at the rim and not give us anything defensively, then it's kind of a liability. Defense changes the game. We have a lot of tremendous transition offensive players that we don't necessarily have to shoot the jump shot all the time if we can make even more plays defensively. And we've got players that can do that. A lot of you don't like Biyombo. We need Biyombo on this team. If we didn't have Biyombo with just Vucevic and Isaac and Gordon, man, we need Isaac. We need Isaac on this team for the defense, for the intangibles. It's not always about just shooting an offense. There's, a lot of directions the management and the coaching staff could go with this team, but I think it's still kind of early. And I think we're still learning about the team. And I think we have a good team, to be honest. We're better. That's what I'm trying to say. We are better. We're still over 500 right now. Even after going 1-3 on the road, we're still over 500. So I'm still in good spirits. I'm still excited about the season, but we're beginning to see the reality come to fruition on this team. What's the reality? We're not that good defensively still, and the players that get the most minutes, they need to break some old habits. Okay, they need to break some old habits. Our next game is at home. I think it's against Utah. I expect us to play well, but Utah is a tough opponent. So that's an important game for the Magic. They just went 1-3. So big game. We're going to talk about it. Again, look out for my podcast. Things are changing a little bit, but I'm still here. I'm still going to be talking to Magic with all my friends and loyal listeners. So please listen. Please continue to like or dislike, subscribe. And as always, go Magic.